Yeah, good morning. So I thought I'll start today with by telling a little bit about our company Rejola. So since we've been training, there can be a misconception that Rejola is a company that is into training. So basically, we are a company who started in 9 years. 9 years back in 2011, we have more than 174 customers now, and we are operating in around 10 countries. What I mean by that is we have customers in around 10 countries, and we are predominantly into making softwares, mobile apps, and websites. We are not a training company. training is something that we started as a service, something that we wanted to do for free to a certain uh, you know part of the community. That is basically we started off an initiative called Reach, through which we wanted to extend education and support to those who are unable to receive it, and help them to increase their education, their awareness, their knowledge, and also to find a job. So this started off around 2018, and we tried various activities, and now we are doing this. We are training um, um, those who have passed out of colleges, or those who want to search for a job, and a job in software line. So we are doing it completely for free. It is not a commercial activity, because this is not what we do mainly. This is not training, is not what we do. We create software, mobile apps, and websites for customers. That is what we do. So I thought I'll start off today by giving a small introduction about ourselves, and please do share more to more of your friends who you think will benefit out of this free training program, so that more can join the WhatsApp group and benefit from this training program. Okay, having said that, let me log into training.rejola.com/software with my user ID and password. And yeah, I have invested well in all these areas, so I'll mark 5 in everything. I'll save it, and on the screen I'll get into my project. And in this project, so basically we are supposed to be starting Bootstrap today. So that is what we decided we would do. We gave a small introduction to Bootstrap yesterday, and what we discussed yesterday was that Bootstrap can be either the files of Bootstrap can either be put in the local folder along with the website files, or they can be referenced from an online server. So that is the amount of learning that we did yesterday, and we decided we would continue rest of it today. So for that, we had opened the Bootstrap website, that is Get Bootstrap. So getbootstrap.com, that is a website that we opened yesterday. And I will also open the files that we were using for yesterday. So let me open the file. So this is what we did yesterday. So what I'll do is I'll open this in Notepad again, and I'll save as a new file for the modifications that we're going to do today, and I'll call it as Bootstrap, and I'll put today's date. Okay, so I've saved it, and that particular file I'll open so that it opens here in the browser. Okay, so this is the file, and we discussed what is responsive design yesterday. Responsive design is nothing but when the components or elements of the website changes according to the width of the screen. That's called a responsive design. So if a website is not responsive, when you view it on a small screen, you'll have to zoom out the entire content so that the words become legible. So that's what responsive designs are. So now let us put Bootstrap on this. But as yesterday I said, there are no larger items on this particular, what do you say? There are no larger items on this particular website, so that when you make it smaller, it moves around. It's all narrow and small, so we may not see much of a difference happening when we put in Bootstrap. But let us see how to make it. Probably a few things that we can do is we can try to make it wider and then see if it goes down. So we'll try to do something like that. So maybe what we can do is in this hello training here, or probably something over here, maybe we'll put a paragraph tag here below the heading, open and close paragraph tag, and maybe we'll pick up something from rejola.com, some text from rejola.com. Okay, so let me pick up this content here, and let me put it in between this paragraph here. Okay, and if I refresh the page, okay, the whole thing has come like that. And of course this, even if I do not do any bootstrap, it still goes down. So that is there. So how do I show you bootstrap? Okay, anyway, let's go ahead with bootstrap and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is where we were. We came to bootstrap yesterday, and we told that this is how we should do it. So you can see here, it explains how to start off with bootstrap. So there are few references that you have to do for putting bootstrap on your website. So the first one is you need to bring in this CSS link and place it in the head. Okay, till here. So I'll just copy that. Okay, and I'll place it inside the head portion here. Okay, I'll just place it over here. So I'm bringing the Bootstrap CSS file, that is the styling file from Bootstrap. This is the URL that is mentioned. Okay, till here. So I'm taking this and I'm placing it in our website over here. So let's see, as soon as I save this and I refresh this, let us see if there's anything changing over here. Let us see if something is changing. Yeah, you saw that the font has changed. Okay, you will see that by default the styling of each element in Bootstrap has changed. Okay, of course this is getting overridden here, so I can actually increase the size of that. So let me increase the width as 200, so maybe that will help. Okay, so now what happens is, just because as soon as I placed this CSS file in the head, you will see that the entire styling of the page has changed. The font has become a little more better, or an online font, rather than the font that was there before. I'll just show you the difference. Probably if you've not caught it, I'll just remove this, I'll save it, and then I'll refresh here, and then you see the font has changed. This is more like a printing font. It's not like a online font. So the font itself has changed as soon as I have put in the CSS. I've not done anything else. All that I've done is I put the CSS there, and the whole page changes. And the page has already started behaving a little bit responsive. Of course, there are few things that we need to do to make it more responsive. Just by inserting one line of CSS, that is this particular CSS line, we have started making our page responsive. This page has started becoming responsive. There are few things that we need to do. We'll get into it as we keep going in the course content. So here, what is responsive? What is Bootstrap? Container. So now let us see what is container. Okay, so let's come to Bootstrap and see what is container. This is the header file, the modifying of the header. This is where they put. Okay, and another thing that they are recommending that we should do is we should put this meta file information. Okay, so meta file char set is UTF-8 and name, viewport, content, width, device width, scale 1, initial. So this has to be put in the header file over here. We have to have this over here. So let me put that in also and refresh and see if there's anything changing. There is nothing changing, but it is important if the page has to be responsive. So I've put in that also. Okay, and selector for with box sizing content community. Okay. So this is meta. So I'll just put that I have put the meta information there. Okay, let's see what is Bootstrap container. Okay, so containers are used content inside them. Yeah. So here mainly this container is used inside. You can either use container like this inside a div. Usually what I do is I put container inside body. Now how do you, okay, before coming to that, how do you apply this styling that you have in put here from Bootstrap? How do you apply that into your website? Okay, you've already seen that some portion of it has already been applied. The font has changed and the even the the color of the font has changed a little bit. Okay, now if you come here to body, to this place, and if you say class, and if you apply the container class, okay, now this is a particular styling that is there inside the Bootstrap. It is there inside this particular CSS file in Bootstrap, and this particular container, the class styling that you're going to give to body, it basically applies to the entire website. Okay, so let us see what happens as soon as I do that. I will do that and I will save it, and when I refresh this page, you will see that there is a decent left margin and a right margin that has come. I did not do anything else. All that has happened is, as soon as I put in that particular class called container, automatically the margins have come. Okay, now this particular margin, you will see that probably it is around 100 pixel or 80 pixel in width. Now if I change the size or the width of the browser, now see what happens to that width. See, now it is, and as soon as I made the browser width very small, you will see that the width over here is automatically reduced. Now that is responsive. It is changing according to the width. Now you will see, as I am putting it, you will see that the width is increasing. Okay, you will see that the width is adjusting itself to different sizes of the screen. Now that is called a responsive design. So all I had to do was put this one class here. Now that is the power that Bootstrap gives for us as web developers and mainly as web application creators, that it reduces our time taken to style the pages which fits into mobile and on desktop at the same time. So now you must admit that all the websites, most of them are viewed mainly on the mobile rather than on a computer, because mobile is much easily available and everybody would like to see their website on a mobile. So Bootstrap helps you to convert your website into something that can be easily read on the mobile. So now what we have done is I've just put this, and then automatically the container has got created where the content is placed inside it. I can even make it something that touches the borders. Okay, I can even make it, and that's achieved through another class called container fluid. So if I put this particular class, and if I refresh this, now you will see that it has gone back to the corners. Okay, it is as if it is not even there, but of course it has retained its responsiveness. So anyway, for us to understand that it is there, I'll remove fluid and I'll keep it just as container. Okay, so this is what happens. So now let me go to the next one. So before that, I have to update here that I have done a on container. Okay, next. So if you see here, you have something called row and columns. Okay, row and column. What is row and column? In Bootstrap, the way it works, or the way the responsiveness works, is the entire website has to be divided into horizontal rows and vertical columns. So that's how a Bootstrap website works. That's how it works. Okay. So how is it implemented? How is this rows and columns implemented? So before I do that, earlier when I started learning about Bootstrap, as I told yesterday, the vertical columns were divided into 12. Okay, whereas of late they have removed the concept of 12, and they have given us the complete freedom of how many divisions you want on the website. Okay, so I myself will be learning as I am trying to do this particular row and column. Okay, so let me update here and say that I'm going to learn row and col. Okay, having said that, what I'll have to do to put row, for example, let us say this particular div here. Okay, now you can see that I had colored it as red and blue by using this particular styling class, okay, div class, and I defined the entire styling over here. I can do something here. I can just remove this div class and call it as row. Now what will happen as soon as I do this and I save it, this, of course, this styling will go. There will not be any border or red and blue font, nothing of that will be there. But the div will get converted into a row. It will get converted into a row element. So styling is required to convert something into a horizontal layout will be applied immediately. So if I refresh this, okay, you will see that it has become a horizontal thing. It's become column training, and free job assistants have come one next to the other. Okay, and so that is the row that has got applied to this here. The row has got applied to this one here. Okay, and you can see that it has actually gone a little to the left. It has gone a little to the left side. So let me click on layout and Bootstrap and see how it is done. So you have something called container fluid, container is some 100% width. Container Excel. I think there is no. Let me go to grid. Yeah, they do have. So they do have row, column, and all that. So they are asking to put it inside container. Okay, so let's put another div around it called container. So let's put another div. So I'll just copy this, put here, and call it container, and I will close the div here. Okay, so this is what I am doing. Okay, so I put a container and then a row. Okay, and now if I refresh it here, you will see that the left side, it has come in the straight line, otherwise it is going towards the left. Okay, now it's come in the same line. Now you can see that these two are coming in one line without any space. So what I want to do is I want to put hello training here in the starting and free job assistant somewhere in starting from the middle of the screen. I don't want to put it right next to each other. So what I'll have to do here is, according to Bootstrap here, I'll have to put those things, those two into such elements with class called column sm, col-sm. SM stands for small, MD stands for medium, and LG stands for large. So let me put in this one. I'll copy this. I will come here and put that here. So, and I will take this paragraph and replace it with what is inside. Okay, I'll replace it with what is inside. So as soon as I do this, let's see what happens, how it behaves. Of course, there is here, and this is without the div. So let's see what happens, how it behaves immediately. So if I refresh this, you'll see that the first one has taken the entire space and it pushed the second one almost to the corner. Okay, now if I want to bring this to the middle, okay, half space for this and rest of the half space for the other one, I have to just bring in this again over here. I'll copy it, I'll paste it, and I will replace this content over here. Okay, and if I put this over here and then if I refresh this, you'll see that half of the space is taken by this and half of the space is taken by this. All that I have done, and even when I move the width around, if I change the width around, you will see that the proportion is maintaining. The 50% for this and 50% for that is maintaining as I move it around. It is not that, if it was placed in a particular place, if this free job assistance was placed over here, and as the size decreases, it's not going out of the screen. It is also adjusting itself. There is one other thing that I'll show you and probably will close today's session is, if you will notice that as I keep bringing it closer and closer, you'll see that free job assistance has come down. Now that is responsiveness. Why? Because when there is a content, when there is content filling this first div call SM, that is a div call SM, this one here, and the second one, if it's full, as you keep shrinking, that content will try to jump out of the screen. So what Bootstrap does is, it once you reach a particular size of the screen, let's say a mobile size, for example, what you see here is probably size of a mobile screen, automatically the content is pushed down so that you need not have to zoom in or zoom out to see the content, and it is clearly legible. So this is the behavior that Bootstrap puts to your content on the website. It adjusts itself completely to ensure that it is mobile responsive. Now, what this does for a programmer is, it saves huge amount of time that is required to ensure that what you have done is seen well on different screens. And the reason it is convenient to adapt such kind of a technology called Bootstrap is because you are no longer worrying about how it looks. Instead, you are thinking about how is the logic, or what solution is it giving, how is it really solving the problem. So you are focusing on the logic or the thinking element of the project rather than getting concerned about the looks of the project. Of course, looks is very important, and Bootstrap does a very good job in giving a good look for the website. So I think we'll close today with this. So we have done column SM, so that's what we have done today. Okay, and what we will do next, that is what we will do tomorrow, is we'll look at table. Okay, now this is an amazing tool that is there to style a table. So we will look at that tomorrow. Okay, so let me just make a note here that next we will do is table. Okay, we will look at table and we'll try to style the table. So that's it for today, and please do practice for more than 8 hours every day so that you can complete your training at the earliest. And I wish everybody to reach the level 4. As I've told earlier, we have around 60 members in level 1, one person in level 2, and I've been able to post one job opportunity, and hoping to grow these numbers to much greater heights in the coming days and months. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll have a class tomorrow also. So then let me end my session here. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye.